Thank you. Okay, so welcome to our webinar on the wonders of the Avnei HaHoshen and crystals. Okay, so we have this hidden layer of Jewish wisdom, which I hope to share with you a little bit more tonight. This is a glimpse, but we need to start somewhere. Okay. Now, what we're going to be doing tonight is we're going to have a Jewish perspective on the crystal healing, as I mentioned. You're going to have the opportunity to choose a crystal that speaks to you. Going to understand how crystals affect us personally. And then there will be some case studies as well intertwined tonight so that you understand really the power of these amazing crystals. Okay. So the first place that we meet the crystals or the Avnei HaHoshen, the Hoshen stones, is actually in Sefer Shmot, in the Chumash, in the Torah, okay, where it describes the garments that will be worn by the high priest, by the Kohen Gadol, when he's doing his service in the Mishkan or the tabernacle, which was a temporary, ark used by the Jewish people when they traveled in the desert and later on when they first came to Canaan, to Eretz Israel. Okay, and he had to wear certain garments. So as you see, he's dressed here, and it tells us that you should make a Choshen Mishpat and how it should be. It tells us on there there should be 4 rows of stones. And in the rows, the first row should have the Odem, Pitada, Bareket. Okay, those are the stones that are going to be in the first row. And then in the second one, there's going to be the Nofech, the Sapir, and the Yahalom. So it's telling us all of the different stones, the 12 stones that the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, is going to wear. And okay, very specifically, and here is a picture just of the Choshen. This is made by a place in Jerusalem called Machon HaMikdash. And this is the garment that was on top on his chest. Now you see, these are the 12 stones representing each one of the 12 tribes. Interestingly, you see that they are each different. Every single stone looks different. And that, my friends, is a representation of our Jewish nation. We are all together on the same choshen, on the same garment, worn on the heart of the high priest, the person who was the highest serving official, okay, close to God. And he was told very strictly, on your heart, you're going to wear the 12 Avnei HaHoshen, representing the 12 tribes, the whole Jewish nation. And this is what you're going to be wearing on your chest, folks. He is going to be wearing it, and we're all going to be together. I think it's a symbol of Jewish unity, that we're all together in the same place. We all have our own different little cubicle, but we're all there together, and that's Jewish nation. We may all be different, but we are all in the one place, and that is the heart of this important person. And I think God's commandment there is telling us, you are all my children, and I love you all equally. I'm putting you all on my heart. And here we have another more modern look, okay, of all of these 12 Avnei HaHoshen in a way that you can see them and understand them. This is something that I've done on my calendar. Okay, I've put together a calendar, and it's got all of the different months with the different stones. And that's here. And you are welcome to download it. It's free on my website. Okay, the calendar, the Avnei HaHoshen calendar. It's a perpetual calendar. In other words, it doesn't have days of the week. So it's something to mark birthdays, anniversary, whatever it is, you mark it in there, and every year you have a look. You've got the Hebrew months and the English months there, whatever. Anyway, feel free to download it. If you want to have a fancy copy, you're welcome to buy it as well. Okay, so here these are the 12 stones, the tribes, and I've put them here so you understand what they are for us today. Okay, that the ruby is the Odem. The pitida is a topaz. You may not have heard of all of these stones, but some of them you probably will have heard of. Certainly, I have to tell you the truth, ladies. For me, I probably knew about before I began my journey in the world of stones. I knew what a diamond was, a sapphire, an emerald, and maybe that was it. Okay, not much. I want to move on to the Gemara or the Talmud. And in the Talmud, we are told very clearly that on Shabbat, a woman can carry with her the Even Tkuma in order to prevent her from having a miscarriage. Yes, you heard me correctly. She is able to carry this stone with her on Shabbat, and this will prevent her having a miscarriage. Now, we won't discuss the issue of carrying on Shabbat and not carrying on Shabbat because that's certainly not my area. However, what is my area is the understanding that at the time of the Talmud, at the time of the Gemara, they were discussing, they brought as an example, okay, they brought a crystal, a stone as an example, the Even Tkuma. What does that mean to me? That they were using these stones at that time and they understood the medicinal value of stones, crystals, gemstones, minerals, whatever you want to call them. And today, the Even Tkuma is actually a stone that we know. What stone is that? That stone is called the carnelian in our language. And there are many, many women who I have recommended that they use this stone, the carnelian, okay, in order. I'm going to do this one sec, I think. No, that didn't work. Okay, they use the carnelian stone in order to protect the pregnancies. And I had many women, actually. Thank God. I've been able to help many, many women, and I feel that's a big, very big blessing. People call me and say to me, Gila, do you have the Even Tkuma? They're not sure what they're asking about, but they know I deal with stones. And so they ask me if I have this particular stone. And thank God I'm able to answer yes. I feel like it's a big bracha. I feel a big blessing that I'm able to tell people that I do have the Even Tkuma, and I actually combine it with another stone, one of the stones from the Hoshen. And together, it's an unbelievable set that women wear. Okay, sometimes I make bracelets, but more often sets of stones that they actually use in their underwear in order to protect the pregnancy. They go in a little baggie and you put safety pins in and all good. And these stones, one woman who called me up and said that she needed the stones, and I sent them off to her as quickly as I could, because when somebody needs these stones, we don't want to wait. Okay, so I found somebody where I lived who was going nearby, because often people don't live next door. It's not in my little suburb. Anyway, and then I spoke to her afterwards and I asked her how she felt with the stones. What did it do for you? Could you feel a difference? And she said to me that when the carnelian stone, she felt less nauseous, and she also felt that she had a lot more energy. Okay, she was somebody who could feel and could answer me. I had another woman who was over 40 and who was using the stones. And she said to me, one time they came off and she felt the baby move and she was really concerned until she got the stones back on. So we have a lot of responses and a lot, thank God, a lot of very, very good results. So the crystals are a blessing. This is something that was used many, many, many years ago, and it's coming back to us today. Rabbeinu Bachaye, okay, he was a Spanish Kabbalist, a highly respected Spanish Kabbalist, okay? He lived from 1255 to 1340. He was a student of the very well-known Aderet, or the Rashba, and the Rashba was a student of the Ramban. Okay, so we're coming from the highest pedigree, highest people who are highly respected in their learning. And actually, Rabbeinu Bachaye modeled a lot of his learning and his teaching on the Ramban. And he says that Ein lecha kol even ve'even min ha'avanim hayekarot shelo timshoch koach min ha'elyonim. In other words, all of the precious stones draw energy from above. They're not just pretty stones, they are pretty stones, but that is not the only thing. They are also these items, things that draw down energy. Okay, they're drawing down special power from above, and we feel it. We can really feel the power of these stones, thank God. And you're going to have the opportunity to see what you feel as well. In addition, Rabbeinu Bachai tells us, ודע כי נמצא כתוב בספרי חוכמת הטבע, כי כל האבנים היקרות שהן עיקריות ושורשיות אינו אלא י"ב, והם אבות לכל שאר האבנים, וכל השאר מניהם ענפיהם ותולדותיהם. What does that mean? That it says in the scientific, the nature's books, it also says that all of the precious, there are 12 precious stones. And that's it, just 12. And all of the other stones are actually derivatives of these 12 stones. So our 12 stones are the great, 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 great grandparents, let's say, of all of the other stones. They all associate to them. So rose quartz, for example, which is one of the stones that many of us know. Not that I knew it, to be perfectly honest, when I began my journey, but here's a pretty rose quartz. And there's another one. Okay, the rose quartz, for example, is actually a derivative of one of the 12 Avnei HaHoshen. It doesn't matter which of the Hoshen stones it relates to. The point is that it also has a holiness of these precious stones. Okay? Then we have the Ibn Ezra. The Ibn Ezra was also Spanish, and he lived earlier than the Rabbeinu Bachai, and he was also highly respected. His focus was less on the Zohar, on the Kabbalah, more on the Pshat, on the plain explanations of the Torah. Okay, and he said, כוח ימצא בתולדות כל אבן ואבן, כי יש אבן שמושכת את הברזל, ויש אבן המעמדת את הדם. Power is found in the history of each and every stone, because there's a stone that attracts iron and a stone that enriches blood. Which is which? Okay, I mean, I could guess, but the point is that he is understanding the attributes of the crystals. And we're going back thousands of years. Understanding this is like, wow, this is something that was used. We're now going into archaeology, history, Jewish history. It's exciting. It's exciting. In fact, I have to be perfectly honest, I am not such a museum person, or I was not. But the one thing that I love doing is going to museums and having a look at their crystals, the display, and being able to say, wow, I know what this one is, or I might know what this one is, or whatever it may be. It's really something so incredibly special. I can't begin to tell you. In fact, I was recently in upstate New York. I was in Albany, and I had a little bit of spare time before I was due to give my lecture. So I said, you know what? I've got my car. I'm going to go to the museum. So I went off to the museum. Oh my goodness, what a fantastic display was there. And these garnets, which is actually one of the Avnei HaHoshen, huge, like a tree of garnets, these beautiful. Anyway, it's become something else that I really get very excited about, going to museums and seeing that section. It's really beautiful. Um, Now, folks, this is your turn. This is your chance here. Everybody here is now welcome to choose one of these crystals, whichever one you want, whatever stone draws you, attracts you, talks to you. Okay? And I want you to write in the chat what number stone you're choosing. Okay? That's what I would like you to do at the moment. So I'm opening it.
I can't see them all.
You can't see them? Maybe that's your screen. Now, can everybody else see them? That's so strange. I can make it a little bit smaller. Can other people see it? That didn't work so well. I don't know what to do. I'm sorry. This is beyond my. That's really weird. Huh? You're writing them in. Mm, 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 mm. You have two. One. Mm. I'm sorry, I'm just writing them all down. I think it's like really interesting.
Can we pick more than one?
If you need to, some people have done that, definitely. Okay. I think we're all in. Anyone else? Okay. Okay. What is interesting is just FYI, ladies, number two wins the popularity contests among you ladies, okay? A lot of you chose two. Um, a lot of women chose number 10. A lot chose number three. And then we had 4, 9, 7, and 6, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Number 8 mixed out. Okay, so you might want to know what they are. You might want to know something about them. And now I will ask you the following, ladies. Could you please, okay, tell me, I'm going to write down this, I'm going to tell you a little bit about these stones. And as I tell you about them, if you can write down, okay, if you could just write down resonates, doesn't resonate, yes, no, whatever it is, tell me something, because I'm going to tell you something about the stones, but we're going to give them names now. Okay, so now you know which stones you have chosen. Is that correct? I've got a feel we had, yeah, we do, that is correct, yeah. Okay, so I don't know who chose which stone, but number one, the citrine. We have some more coming in. Sorry, I just know we. Okay, everybody is choosing a stone, whichever stone they would like to choose. They are welcome to choose, okay, and write the number down here. Okay, Chaya Rivka, just tell us which one you like. The rest, you'll get the recording, please God, and in the recording, you'll be able to catch up on what you missed out. Aren't these recordings amazing? And Zoom, it's just like something that has opened so many vistas for so many of us. We're really lucky. I feel really lucky to be living in this day and age. Anyway, okay, so number one is the citrine stone. The citrine is actually the Leshem, the tribe of Gad, the Leshem, and it is a stone that talks about success. People who choose this stone, they want to succeed. It's important for them to do well. Okay, that's something that they really want. It's also a stone that helps us to open our perspective, see various different perspectives. In addition, it also strengthens our intuition. Okay, so whoever chose that, I'd love to hear from you. Aha, Judy, you chose what? I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. That's really cool. Okay, number two, the winning stone here. Okay. Number two is the aventurine. Aventurine is a very interesting stone in that it's a stone that is good for everybody. You see, the stones actually have energy. Is this stone breaking up for anybody else? No. Okay, sorry. Um, so we are all attracted to the stones that are good for us because they have an energy. And what is quite incredible is that this energy of the stones is projecting to you wherever you may be. So you could be sitting in Florida or New York or in Tel Aviv or I don't know where, and you're feeling the energy of the stone. It's phenomenal. And how much more so if you come into my clinic, you'll be able to choose stones as well. And there I have a lot more. I've got like over 100 different stones. But in the clinic, people come and it's like they're given a free round in a candy store without any calories because they just choose whatever stones they want. It's very exciting. Anyway, so the aventurine is good for anybody, even people who don't actually choose a stone, because we like to be, as much as possible, I like to give people stones that they've chosen because they're resonating with this stone. But this is a stone that tells me that there's been something that's been going on in your heart, and perhaps now is the time that you'd like to let it go and you'd like to move on from this. You actually want now to turn the page. This is a turn the page stone. So if there's something happening for you, then you want to just move on from here and leave it behind you. The aventurine is a terrific stone for you. Thank you, Nechi. Okay, yes. Great. I can't, unfortunately, I can't see everybody. I can't see my screen and everybody. So if you write in the chat, then I get to see your responses. I want to move now to the amethyst. Amethyst is one of my great favorites. And it's interesting. We didn't have a lot of people choosing amethyst, but there were a few. First of all, I would be interested to know those of you who chose the amethyst, were you preferring the amethysts on the top or were you preferring the ones on the bottom? Feel free to unmute yourself to answer me.
I chose the one on the bottom.
Okay, thank you, Pessy. Okay.
You're welcome.
Also,
Thank you.
okay. Also, Jess. Okay. So these amethysts are a very spiritual stone. Okay, so I'm guessing you're like spiritual type of people, and you also want more calm in your life. There's like maybe there's not even a lot going on. You're the type of people that do want more calm going on in your life at the moment. This is also a stone that strengthens our intuition. It's a really spiritual stone, and purple is a spiritual color. The other thing is the achlama. The amethyst is achlama among the tribes of among the stones of the Hoshen, and the achlama was from the tribe of Gad. Okay, resonate, ladies? Let me know.
Didn't you say that citron is the tribe of God?
No, the citrine. Amethyst is Gad. No, the citrine is not. Is Dan. Citrine is Dan.
Dan. Oh, okay, thank you.
No problem. Okay. Thank you for absolutely. Okay, now the black tourmaline. The
Wait.
black tourmaline, folks, even if you didn't mark it, you need to know about it. I am wearing now a black tourmaline bracelet. Okay, aventurine isn't one of the tribes. I'm going to tell you if the stones relate to the tribes. Most of them don't. So by the way, we have a couple that do. So that's like always very lovely for us. Okay. The black tourmaline is the strongest protective stone that we have. So sometimes we go to places and there's different energy there and we need to be protected. Sometimes we meet with people. I certainly know I have them all over. I've got one here on my desk because the black tourmaline protects me from their negative energy. I see people all the time, okay? Even if I meet them on Zoom, okay, I'm still feeling people's energy. So I need to protect myself and have the black tourmaline. And people who are sensitive to energy and also people who are not necessarily sensitive in certain circumstances, I think we all need them. And it's a great stone in general. Just to have one in your home it is really wonderful. Okay. Um, I have never heard about amethyst being, God forbid, a widow maker. Never heard anything along that line. It's too precious for something like that to be true. I can't believe that. Okay, now, um, whomever was that chose a black tourmaline, um, yes, black tourmaline is strong. It's the strongest protective stone, okay? So that's why I make lots of bracelets with black tourmaline. It's very simple, easy to wear, and you walk around and you've got that extra layer of protection, particularly if you're working with people or nurses or whomever it may be. It's really important.
I chose it and I am a nurse.
There we go. Okay, this is the stone to protect you against negative energy. The black tourmaline is a stone. I'm not talking about EMF. I'm not talking about telephones and computers. I'm talking about human energy. Okay? Okay, number 5, the tiger's eye. The tiger's eye is a great stone for it's a great stone to help us focus. Could you believe it? I fumbled there exactly when I'm talking about focus. That's the first time that's happened to me on the tiger's eye. Anyway, it's a very good stone to help us concentrate. It's good for us when we're facing challenges. If someone's gone on a binge, it might help you to stop yourself from that binge as well. And it's also a good stone for the gallbladder, okay, and for digestion. Great idea. Grandchild with ADD, it helped a lot. Yes, the tiger's eye. In fact, there's a set of stones which I do give to people for people who have ADHD. A set of stones. It's not the tiger's eye that's in there. There's a red tiger's eye, or what I call the bullseye in there. And it's amazing. It's really so helpful. Okay, next we come up with the yellow calcite. The yellow calcite, not a lot of people chose it here, which I actually have to say I understand. But I, for example, that's my other bracelet that I'm wearing is yellow calcite because I have osteoarthritis in my hand. And this reduces the pain incredibly. You could find me when I'm at home and sometimes when I'm out as well, with a big slab of yellow calcite stuck to my hand if I'm in pain. It's incredible how it reduces that level of pain. So that is one of the things that yellow calcite is good for rheumatic pain, and it really reduces the level of physical pain that we're suffering. It's also a stone that helps to cleanse different things that we have going on inside us. Sometimes, we carry a bit of that old baggage. I'm sure nobody here knows anything about that, but there are sometimes some people that may be carrying with them some old baggage, and this stone is going to be helpful to remove that as well. We don't really want to go back there. We're still here. We're getting advance notice of what's going on. We have the rose quartz. Rose quartz is one of my all-time favorites. Personally, it's a favorite, and in treatment, it's a favorite because I believe that it's a stone of self-love, of self-confidence, of feeling good about ourselves. It is so important for us to feel good about ourselves. It doesn't matter what we're doing. If you want to start a diet, you have to feel, I can do it. I have confidence in myself that I can be disciplined, that I can say no, and that I'm going to succeed. Somebody is going for some sort of a medical procedure. I have confidence in my body. It can do it. I can overcome whatever it is. Okay, I'm going for a job interview. Of course, I need to have lots of self-confidence. So I am a big believer in the rose quartz. Somebody's going out on a date. Okay, yes, they need to have the rose quartz. I'm good enough. I'm good enough for this person, whomever I'm going to be going out with, etc., etc. So the rose quartz for me is very much of a go-to stone, and I believe that it is extremely, extremely beneficial. Sometimes it helps us with our self-confidence. Sometimes it will help us to be a little bit more assertive as we need. Okay, so keep on writing your comments in the chats, folks. Okay, I want to hear from you. But so far, we've had some very good comments. Thank you. Okay, interestingly, at number 8 is quartz crystal. Somebody did choose number 8. That's also one of my stones that I really top. The truth is, most of them are the stones that I really love. Not every single one, but lots of them. And the quartz crystal is a stone that gives us physical energy. It's almost like in my first aid kit, in the sense that, when I'm driving or I'm out or whatever it is, and I start to feel drowsy, pull out that quartz crystal. Ladies, I'm telling you, you try it. Pull out a quartz crystal, hold it in your hand, and wow, you're going to feel, you may not feel that surge of energy go through you, but you will feel the energy coming back. You'll feel, in fact, this was a stone, one of the stones that I love talking about, because it was my first stone. I told you that when I began to study about the crystals, I knew nothing. When I say nothing, I really mean, I'm sure you all know more than I knew then. So I was told that if you take the quartz crystal and you're feeling tired, it gives you energy. So I said, terrific. What happens when I come home from work? I would come home from work and I had 4 kids at home. I'd love to play with them, play games, spend time with them and read stories. So that's a really funny thing. When you come home, you've been a full day at work, try reading your children a story. I don't know about you, but for me, that was definitely a challenge. We would sit down on a comfortable chair. The kids would sit around me. I'd take my book, start to read, and how long would it take until I nodded off? Not very long. I said, you know what? I've got a quartz crystal. Let's give it a go. So I took the quartz crystal in my hand and I held it and I held it and I read the kids one chapter and another chapter and another chapter. And I was like, Mummy, what is going on here? And that's the quartz crystal. So that was like a very strong introduction because I understood it's not just a stone that looks pretty, that I like the look of. It's actually really does have energy and it does make a difference. And at times I can't feel that it's making a difference because how am I going to measure my self-confidence, for example? But here, with being awake and alive, feeling my energy, that was something I could measure from being exhausted to being, wow, I know what's going on. I can keep on reading. So I'd love to hear how you're feeling. Okay. Whomever it was that chose the quartz crystal. The howlite, okay, is a stone that is wonderful, because it's a wonderful stone. Very often we have lots and lots of thoughts racing around in our mind, and we just want to calm all of those thoughts down. And the howlite is going to be very beneficial for that, okay? Just to calm our heads down, okay? And then the last stone that we have here is the blue lace agate. The blue lace agate, or agate, yeah, blue lace agate is an all-time favorite. In fact, I have one with me now because one of the names that we have for the blue lace agate is the speech stone, Even HaNeumim. It is a stone that helps us say what we want to better. So a few of you chose this stone. And I'm wondering if you are people who are actually quite eloquent, but you would like to be able to say things even better, okay? And not only that, It's the type of people who take a lot of things on themselves and make sure never to actually drown. But you keep on taking things on and doing lots and lots and lots of things all the time. And here the blue lace is really, really helpful. How does that resonate, folks? Yes, rose quartz would be very helpful. Blue lace and kyanite are completely different stones. Okay, yeah. Bracha, how are you? Okay. Got bracha, two brachot here. Lefachot. I've got at least two brachot here. Wonderful. Okay, so amazing. So those are our stones that we have. Okay. Just tell me, how interesting was that? Just to be able to, from through the screen, to be able to understand what's going on with these crystals and how they talk to us and tell us so much. And now I want to just show you look at a little bit more deeply at these two stones, okay, of the Avnei HaHoshen, of the 12 Hoshen stones. Okay, we said the Leshem is the citrine from the tribe of Dan. Okay, now it also, as I said, it's a good stone, it attracts wealth. In other words, this is a stone that you're going to see on many people's desks, okay? And you'll also see it quite frequently near a cash register. Go into jewelry shops, go into different shops. In fact, I was in a shop that sells bags, and they had a big block of citrine right near the cash register because people are aware that this stone is a stone that attracts wealth. It's known as the stone of success, okay? So this is a very important stone. And the other one that I chose because it's the aquamarine. Why did I choose this stone? It's the tribe of Asher. It's the Tarshish or aquamarine. The reason I chose, I'll tell you in a second. After I tell you about the stone, and then I'll tell you why I chose it, or I'll show you. This is a stone that absorbs fluid from our body. Okay, now you'll see, if you put your hands, all of you can put your hands behind your ears, take your hands and put them behind your ears, and you can feel that there's a slight indentation behind your ears, right? That, you can take your hands down, that is an amazing place to stick stones. Yeah, you could actually stick stones right there behind your ears, and together with another stone, it works, there's a set of stones, so we put 4 stones all together, 2 stones behind each ear, and it draws out the fluid and the pain from behind the ears. And the aquamarine is also a stone of calm. It's known as the philosopher's stone. Okay. It also, like there are those, okay, never any of us, of course. Okay, but there are those that may have that extra baggage from a long time ago, or even from an argument or something unpleasant that's taken place, and they're carrying it with them, and it's not doing good things for them inside. And this is a great stone to help cleanse that. I call it jifa, all that yucky stuff. It's a great stone to try and cleanse that from the system. Okay. Okay, now why did I choose this stone specifically? Because this is a stone that is associated with the month of Shvat. We now are in the Hebrew month of Shvat, and the month of Shvat is the tribe of Asher. And that according to Sefer HaYetzirah, one of the oldest books written by Avraham Avinu, and he told us which months are associated with which tribes, and we know which stones go with which tribes. So there we have it. So I pulled this together. This is an original part of my calendar. As I said, it's on the website. You are welcome to download it for free. Okay, so we have this beautiful, beautiful stone. Okay, so if you want to know about the stones, 12's Avnei HaHoshen. You just download the calendar, and there's actually one page at the back of it, which has got all the stones at a glance, which gives you a brief summary. Okay. Did I tell you that there was a masterclass special offer? But before we get to that, I want to tell you a few things about a little bit more about the way I work with the stones. I have people that come to me and say, Gila, things aren't quite working for me. I've done a lot of work before, work on myself, work on different issues, and I don't know I'd like to cleanse more, get rid of more, find out what's going on. Or, parents who came to me. I had parents who came to me, actually the father came to me with his children, and he said, I'm recently divorced. I get on fine with my wife. I mean, not good enough for her to remain my wife, but we're making sure to have a good relationship for the sake of our children. Um, and but I want to know how my kids are doing. I'm not really sure how they're doing, how they're going. So I did an assessment on the little girl, and I could see that she's a sweet, sensitive little girl, mature, but she is going through a hard time. But what I did also see was that she didn't want to share this with her parents. She was scared that she was going to hurt her parents. She didn't want to hurt them. She didn't want to upset them. So she was keeping it to herself. And being able to share this with the parents or with the father was very liberating. And I could say it to him in a subtle way, not the child having a tantrum, but I could say it to him so he understood it without hurting him. But he understands, he's an intelligent man. People understand that when they go through a divorce, it's going to affect their children in one way or another. Sometimes staying married affects the children as well. And usually, it's a playoff, but whatever it may be. So this was an amazing thing to be able to explain to the father. And then afterwards, I'm able to treat the child using the crystals themselves. I can treat people. That's what I love about the crystals. I can do an assessment, understand what is happening for somebody, and then after understanding what is going on for this person, I'm able to treat them using the crystals. Okay, how do we treat using the crystals? We can wear the crystals in many different ways. And another thing that we can do is we can place crystals, certain crystals, not all of them. And there's a whole Torah to that, which when I teach my classes, obviously, we go into that. But you can place crystals in a glass of water. You leave them there for 24 hours. And after 24 hours, you drink the water. It's amazing. It's an incredible concept, and it works so, so well. And there are many things that we understand with the assessments, many, many, many important things. One of the things that I found has been really meaningful is when I do an assessment, I understand about a person. I see their qualities, and Hashem has given every single one of us gifts, but very often we're not aware of the gifts that He's given us. We try and say, no, 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 no. Oh, no, I don't really know how to draw. I'm not so creative. No, I'm just like everybody else. Those sorts of comments. And then when I do the assessment, one of the things that I find that I like to do is to turn to somebody and say, I see from your assessment that you are really a very intelligent person. Obviously, I'm not going to say anything that I don't see through the crystals, okay? But I'm going to say to somebody, I understand that you're a very intelligent person. You like to, very motivated. You want to reach your potential. You're creative, okay? All sorts of different things that I am understanding through the choice of crystals. And this is validating their feelings and giving them power. Wow. So I really am creative. Maybe I should be opening that business. I'm such a logical person. I always thought that it was just like everybody's like that. But no, not everybody's like that. This is you. And these are some of the gifts that Hashem has given you. And sometimes it's easier for us also to deal with our challenges knowing that we also have gifts, okay? We all have challenges. That's life, okay? But it's important for us to appreciate our talents, our abilities as well, Okay, and that's one of the things that I love to validate and share with people. And it's like, oh, really? You think so? I said to one woman, I said, it seems to me like you've got the mind of like a researcher. She said, oh, no, Gila, no, no, no. She came back to me a couple of days later. She said, you know what, Gila? You're right. I do. I am. Okay, so I have that as well. Now, one of the very exciting um, cases that I had recently, a young woman came to me. I was in New York and she came to see me. And I knew she was a young, vivacious, gorgeous young woman, 23 years old, I think, approximately. Um, lovely family, whatever it is. She chose stones, understood from the stones that she is certainly interested in finding a partner, finding her zivug. And I gave her stones that I understood that she would need, and off she went on her way. Very lovely. She sends me a message a few days later. She says to me, Gila, you're a miracle worker. I'm not such a miracle worker, folks. It's the stones, it's the energy, it's the use of them. It's right. It's a gift from Hashem. So she says, and then very wonderful, and I'm so delighted, glad to be part of your journey. What am I going to say? And I don't push people. It's not my thing to ask them and to pry into their kishkas. Anyway, 4 weeks later, I get a message, she's engaged. Now, it was really exciting. And she received the stones before she went out with him. She'd been out with other young men, and it hadn't worked for her, and she came home cranky, it didn't work, and whatever. This gave her the confidence and whatever else it was. And thank God she felt that they played an incredible part of her being able to find her zivug. And yes, one of the stones in the set for her was the rose quartz. Okay. So, now, ladies, I talked to you about a webinar offer, so I want to share with you my webinar offer if any of you are interested. Okay, I do assessments and that you could be in touch with me about, and I also teach about the crystals. I teach people so that they can use them, they can share them. I think that today, you ladies, I believe, have really learned, I hope you've learned, discovered more about the wonders of the crystals. Please share it with the world, okay? This gift is something to be shared. So, this is a very special offer that I haven't done anything like this before, and it's available until Tuesday included, and Tuesday means Tuesday LA time, okay? So it's like really Wednesday morning, certainly in Israel. So, but consider it Tuesday midnight wherever you are, and then you'll be safe. Because what am I offering? Okay, this is one of my students who just finished the course. She thanked me for the organization of the material, etc. Because I do give out a lot of material after each class. There's material that I send out, explanations of the stones and all different things. So the way the course is run is it's a modular course. What does that mean? A modular course, it means I've got 3 modules. Each module has 5 sessions, 2 hours each. Okay, so module 1, okay, means that you'd say, I actually like this. This is really interesting. I'd like to do a little bit. I don't want to do a lot. I want to do a little bit. I'm going to do module 1. Fantastic. Go for it. Do module 1. You like it, you continue. You don't like it, you finish. You get you receive a box of crystals. And when I give out boxes of crystals, I label them obviously, and I give you 2 of each of the crystals. Nobody else is going to do that, but I really understood and saw how people love to use their crystals, but they want to keep them in their box. So we're studying them, you want to know, and this way you can experiment, you can use them, you can enjoy them. The family enjoys them. Believe me, everybody enjoys this. Okay, so we have module 1. Then if people choose to continue module 2, choose to continue module 3, or if it's something you want to do, just say, okay, I'm going for the whole thing, and I'm going to take the package deal and do modules 1, 2, and 3. Whichever way, everything works, and I'm more than happy to do a payment plan for people. Just moved. Okay, now you get a lot of things here. Okay, and I make sure that they're delivered and the notes and the class hours. And it's also you get to meet lots of different ladies. I just finished a course tonight, and the women said how much they enjoyed meeting all of these other women from all over the world. And when I see my students being in touch, and one of them makes jewelry, and another one's wearing her jewelry, one lives in Florida, one lives in Chicago. It doesn't matter. We're all the Crystal Chevra. Okay, and it's a lot of fun. Okay, so what I'm offering tonight, okay, this is the value. You saw the value is $2,350. The course is going to cost $775, and that's going up on Wednesday morning. But tonight you can get it at the old price, okay? Okay, of $685 for module 1. Okay, then we have the package deal, which also I just want to mention that anybody doing module 1 will also have an assessment. I'll do a private assessment with them, and then they'll have the stones, and they'll be able to, we'll discuss the treatment, etc., etc. So that's a lovely experience, and I think it's also an important experience because if you're thinking of working with the crystals in some way, you want to know what it does and what it's given you. And then if you choose to do 3 modules, you get 3 boxes of crystals. Everyone you get double. Okay. The oil, which is like one of my students said, Gila, it's miracle oil. You get a certificate of completion. You know how to do the assessments. And by committing and being a part of the Crystal Chevra, you're in the crystal bubble, and that keeps you going and keeps you working on the crystals, enjoying them, using them, and then joining these events that I have all the time is also part of the fun of being part of this crystal group. Then we have as well, okay, this is the price for the package deal. The regular price is going to be $1753. Today it's $14.17. Okay, so these are all the old prices. So if anybody is interested in doing the course, please feel free to reach out to me. Okay, you can WhatsApp me, you can email me, okay, whatever you want. Please be in touch with me because I really want you to take advantage of all the offers. And if you book tonight, that's before Tuesday, tonight, then you'll get a bonus set of healing crystals as well. Okay, so there's lots and lots of good things that I'd like to offer you. And this is my students who really enjoyed the course. And now I would like to stop this. Okay, if you want to be in touch, you can take a photo of the barcode or whatever details, or you can just reply to any of the emails that I've sent you. You're welcome. Now, if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer. If I can. Judy, unmute yourself.
Yeah. This is when you said you work with people. Now, obviously, I live in Chicago and you live in Israel. But how does that work with the crystals? Say, for me, it would be my daughter would not use the crystals, but could use the healing. And I'm just wondering if you can do that long distance. How does that work? Do you have to drink? Does she have to drink it? Do I have to? I mean, how does that?
Either. If it's for your daughter, she would need to drink the crystals, wear the crystals, choose the crystals. She can choose them. I send everything. I have FedEx and me are good friends. Okay. And so I send everything out to people. So the assessment is done online. Anybody in Israel is welcome to come to me, to my clinic. I've had people who, when they're overseas, come visit Israel. They come into the clinic. Either way works well. Really, either way works well. It's like amazing over the screen. You saw how everybody here chose stones that resonate with them. Unbelievable. You know, really, I say, Marabu Masecha Hashem, how great are the wonders of God that we could actually choose through the screen the stones that are so appropriate and needed by us. It's an incredible, I think, an incredible gift. So yes, absolutely. We could do a Zoom session and it's no problem, but she would definitely have to wear the stones, use the stones. We can also, you know, there are times that I do make jewelry specifically for people as well.
That's a thought. Okay.
Okay.
Let me ask you one other thing about it. Are these modules, do you have to listen to them at a certain time or can you do it on your own time?
Okay, so the classes take place usually on Sundays. okay? Because I know a lot of people work, and I record all the classes and I send the recordings and obviously the notes out to everybody after every class. So that I actually have students who I've never met. I have to tell you, I like to meet my students, but one woman said, Gil, I can't come on. I've got a family and I can't do it, but I'm loving doing it online. So that works too. Whatever works for people is good.
So you can, so in other words, because I have a crazy schedule, I can't always do it consistently, but
Mhm.
I could do it in my time. You'd send out a recording and I could do it at night when I'm around or whatever.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes,
Okay.
sure. Okay, someone asked me about trustworthy places online. I don't know where to buy stones online. That's the truth. I'm not saying that there aren't places, but I do not know. Okay. Mm, okay. What do we learn? We are learning all the different crystals. We're learning about the energy centers, the chakras, okay? And we're learning, understanding about blockages and how our energy moves and what happens if one energy center is blocked, etc. Okay? So there's lots and lots of things we're learning, and really the students love it. Baruch Hashem, really, really. Okay, on my website, I have a lot of different stuff, a lot of different info. So take a look and be in touch. Really feel free to send me emails and WhatsApp. I love to hear from you. Okay, Stella. Stella, you can unmute. You have a question?
Hi. Yes, I wanted to know if there is any ashkafa from any rabbi to to do this type of studying.
Okay, so I thought that Rabbeinu Bachaya was very good, and I thought that the Gemara was pretty important. Okay, but Rav Kanievsky in Bnei Brak also. The woman I studied with was a Chabad is Admei Vesrim. She's a Chabad woman who got a bracha from the Lubavitcher Rebbe to do this work, to work in this field. So for me, I feel very, very comfortable doing this, and that's why I go through all the Jewish sources, because those are our building blocks. Without that, I couldn't work in this area. Okay. Thank you, Stella. It's an important question.
What do you recommend for irritability?
It's a very big question. I have to understand why somebody is irritable, what's causing it, etc. It's not something that I could just tell you an answer to like that. Maybe they need aquamarine to calm them down, but maybe they need something else. Maybe there could be 100 reasons. We have to have a better understanding. I also have I oh there are stones. Sometimes we see that there's an issue with somebody's relationship. So maybe that's the reason they're irritable. So it's hard for me to answer such a broad question.
No, it's like a job related, like when you see a lot of people through the day and you just get irritable at times.
So, amethyst is a wonderful stone just to calm people down, to help people to remain calm. Okay. And then I would put that with citrine, because, you always want to be successful in your work.
Thank you. And last question, is there a big difference between a lab-made, let's say, amethyst and a real amethyst?
I don't use any lab-made stones.
Do they have any value?
I'm not talking about lab-made. I don't know enough about them. Okay. But it's just not something that I would use. Okay. It's not something that we use in this profession, but we have amethyst, these stones that we use, like, okay, this is one of the stones. These just happen to be on my desk here. It's not that they're so expensive, they're stones that we can work with. And that's one of the things. I work with rubies, okay, but I'm not working with high grade rubies. I'm working with rough rubies, okay, so that they're affordable for everybody and we can use them and we can enjoy them, and they work. They work. It's like unbelievable how they work, okay? I've had fantastic stories with the rubies and with the carnelian, with all of the stones, really, Baruch Hashem. I live in the Shomron, in a yeshuv called Neria. Okay, if you have heard of Modi'in Elite, if you've heard of Talmon, any of those areas, okay, in the Shomron, fantastic area. When you come to see me in my clinic, people are blown away because I have a fantastic view of the mountains. So it's really healing at many different levels, okay? Judy's been to my area and she knows how gorgeous it is.
Really special.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, okay. Any other questions, ladies?
Wait, I do have a question also. So how long is your session if you do an assessment?
So if somebody does an assessment, usually the assessments work as follows. I do a package. So we start off, we do somebody comes, they meet me on the Zoom. Let's say we'll talk on Zoom because most of the people end up coming on Zoom. Although I live in the most magnificent area, not so many people want to come and visit me, unfortunately. Okay. So we do one session on Zoom, which is 45 minutes, an hour. I don't stand with a stopper. I don't have back-to-back appointments. I always make sure that I'm flexible with my time so that if it takes a bit longer, it takes a bit longer. If it's a bit quicker, it's a bit quicker, whichever way it works. So around between 45 minutes to an hour, um, 45 minutes to an hour, we meet, choose the stones. I give you a little bit of feedback because it would be frustrating. Imagine coming to an assessment with Gila, not hearing some of those exciting and interesting things. And then we meet again. Okay. We meet again on Zoom, and then I give you a more in-depth explanation and understanding. And what I like to do then is I give you my recommendations of the treatment, and then I send it out to you. Included in the package is also I often work with crystal essences. So it's a little bit of a turbo way of working. It's made from the crystals. And sometimes it's just easy. You take like half a cup, but I always give people stones to wear because stones last forever. I can wear the same stones for the last 5 years. They last. I mean, until we drop them, they break. But we've got all different approaches for everything. And then depending on the package, whether we meet again after that for feedback or whatever it may be.
And what about carrying the stones? I've read that too. Does that I carry a lot of stones. I can't wear them all, but I carry them, which is why my purse is so heavy. But I mean, is that also what do you think of that? I suppose wearing them is better.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes, definitely, definitely. Yes. Okay. The stones actually, they absorb our energy and they give us energy. So therefore, they do need to be charged or purified.
Right.
So once a week, what we do with the stones is we wash them under cold water in the kitchen sink. You can hold them in your hand, put them in a strainer, whatever works for you. Okay. For 2 minutes under cold running water. And then you place them outside for 3 hours in daylight. And that way you can purify or recharge your stones. And it's a very, very important thing to do. That's just an important tip that you should all know. Okay. We don't wear stones on our hand so much. Whichever I need, the yellow calcite, I wear it on my right side. But stones, a lot of the stones we wear on our left side because the left side is the receiving side. And we want to receive the energy of the stones. Bracha, you had a question? You're on mute, Bracha. Unmute yourself.
You answered it. Thank you. I want to know if you need to clean the stones. And you answered it before I had a chance to ask. Thank you.
Okay, fantastic. Good, good, wonderful.
I have another question. I'm sorry I have so many questions. I have very big, this big amethyst. I also have a round citrine in my front hall. That one I can clean, but the amethyst, it's like, what is it, a geode? I don't know what, not a geode.
Yeah,
The raw thing with the,
yeah.
how do you clean that? It's really heavy to clean it in the sink, and then to carry it outside, I'll have a broken back. I've done it a lot.
Yeah. Oi, I think that you would take a quartz cluster or a big quartz generator, the ones that have the point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quartz?
and you would take that stone and point it towards your amethyst. Okay. And then you can also, there are other ways. We actually do that a little bit of where you can try and think it through and through energetically try and cleanse the stone.
Yeah, I have to do something. It's just too heavy. I've tried it in the
No, you
sink.
can't schlep it. That's not realistic. That's really not realistic. Okay.
A clear quartz is what you're saying? A clear quartz
A
crystal.
generator. It's got a point to it. I do have actually. Look, can you see this stone here has a point to it?
I have it. No, I have it at home. I know what it is. Good.
Exactly.
I didn't know if it was clear or pink or what. Okay, good.
Okay, yeah, you could direct that, and yeah, that's a good way of doing it. Okay, wonderful, lady.
Gila,
Yeah,
Gila, how much is one module again?
here we have all the prices. I don't want to get confused. Okay, so the module is around $685. I can't say it's exactly 685 because the dollar's fluctuating, and I price everything in shekel. Okay.
And it's how many classes in one module?
5 classes in the module.
Got
Okay, 2 hours each. Okay, feel free to be in touch with me, and I'll send you a follow-up email with the recording, and I'll give you a little bit of info. Okay. So thank you, everybody. It's been great having you with me. Okay, and have a great rest of your evening and a wonderful week. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks.